Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily.
Watch us anytime, anywhere. Pwede nimo makita sa digital o papel. Mga balita na masaligan para sa katawan. Serbisyo publiko, aksyon, edukasyon sa tanan.
Sita na mo ba'y diri sa mong syudad? Makasin natin ang inamigong may paglubad. Laag divisoria, uban ng higala ay nakatingala, tsada ni diri.
Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily.
Maayong buntag, Cagayan de Oro.
Good morning, Real Estate!
I'm your host, Alex Zeta.
And I am James Haliasgo. And welcome to the Homeshow Unlimited!
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Homeshow Unlimited. So we have a very special guest with us today. This is actually her third time here on the Homeshow. So suki na gid kaayo.
Okay na.
Grabe. So she's a broker, appraiser, consultant, engineer, nurse. Did I miss anything? So daghan gid kaayo siya og achievements academically, and not only that, but in sales as well, as she's focusing in the real estate industry. So please help me welcome Miss Christy Lugto.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for
and
being a guest.
For coming here, and I really appreciate that you're giving me time.
Of course.
And,
It's my first time in your office.
Yeah, it's a very, we're new here actually. Last February, last year, we're on less like 1 year here. So
Okay.
it's a very nice location actually.
Yeah, it's very
So-
walking distance lang to SM Premier, very near Ketka and all the malls.
Yes, true. And to all the offices that we're going to transact with, it's
Yeah.
really very, very near.
Silingan lang sa CLI office. So
That's
kung
true,
naanapod kay
that's true.
reservations.
It's very near
Very
to
near, very
everything,
convenient.
actually. So it's a very good location, and we are on the second floor. So we cannot see a lot of passers-by, so we can concentrate actually on what we're doing
Concentrate
here.
in the
So
deals.
It's a very nice ambience for us to work with. So thank you.
Yeah. So, Ma'am Christy, I would like to ask you how you started in this industry. With all the nurse, engineer, how did you decide? What made you decide to focus on real estate?
Oh, well, my license was, I think 1995. I had my license in like a real estate brokership. However, I was not able to use it because I was so busy being a civil engineer. I had my construction firm, so I concentrated with my construction for more than 20 years. Then I ventured into nursing. I went into nursing school because my sisters were inviting me to go to States, and being a nurse.
That was the dream before, yes.
Yes, we heard a lot of good things being a nurse. The income is good and whatever. So I went to school for 4 years.
Nauso bitaw to before. I'm actually a nurse as well, but I only practiced
it
for a
was
year.
very attractive. Actually, when I studied at Capital University, nursing college is like, we were 3,000 students in nursing. So it's really very in at the time.
Very
so
in.
Nakiuso. But actually, the truth of the matter is that my sisters were inviting me actually to go to the States. So para tatlo kami doon. So mingaw daw. So anyway, I tried. And
So
I thought,
what happened?
well, I actually had passed the NCLEX exam in the state of New Jersey. I tried to work, but after several months, I did not pursue the processing of my papers because I think I'm too old for it because it's a second course and I'm like middle 40s, so I cannot withstand long hours standing. So parang oh my God. Tapos nakita
So you
ko,
finished the course, but sa processing ka give up na, di na ko.
tapos na, I had my license in New Jersey as a nurse. Pinaprocess na yung papeles ko and the working papers. However, I realized that looking into the nurses, they don't have social life. Kung may off sila, they sleep. And
Yeah,
mostly,
it's the same with my friends abroad.
and
They're
mostly,
too
yung
tired to go
sisters
out.
ko, they go into retail therapy. So yun, shopping, and that's it.
Shopping.
And I think, my life is so short for this, so I'd rather not pursue this. I think it's not for me actually, so I came home. So pagbalik ko sa Pilipinas, I was thinking, can I
So
go
you
back?
went abroad not to work?
Yes, I was in States already.
So how long were you there?
I actually went there for almost a year, but I came home and then...
So you realized it quickly? Okay, it's not for me.
Because sometimes yung nasanay ka, you're used to being the boss in the field, in the construction. Tapos if you're in the nursing field, the doctors are the bosses.
Yeah, the doctors are
And
the boss.
so you're on your toes all the time.
Yeah.
You're standing all the time.
Yes.
And it seems it's not for me.
Okay.
So I realized, okay, how much do you earn here? $6,000 minus, taxes, living, food, a car, everything.
So how much yung net more or less per month?
More or less, if you're a nurse earning $25 an hour, mag-net ka lang ng $2,000 to $3,000.
That's how much in pesos?
Well, if
200?
exchange is like 50.
Let's say 50.
Yeah, so
Around
1,000 is 50. So if you're, then it's 150 to 200,000.
Around 200, yeah.
So I came home. Then I came home, I was like thinking, should I go into nursing? The friend of my son of my friend there is always teasing me, Christy, is it true that nurses in the Philippines are being paid like $7 a day? You can earn $25 an hour there. So it's like, if you're in the government service, so you're gonna receive a pay of like 400 pesos, 350.
So when did you start practicing?
So I came back 2011
as a real estate
from US.
broker.
So when I assessed everything, I was thinking, what shall I do? So I was thinking of, well, why not try real estate and use my broker's license? So that's when I started.
So what year was that?
That was 2011. So
that was the year I became a broker.
Yeah, everybody was telling it's too late for me, and a lot of brokers are in the field already. Everybody is selling, but I think I proved them wrong.
Yeah.
Because there's no late in this.
There's no late in life.
No.
You can
Everything is but a challenge, and everything is open to everything, learning new things, and that's what I was going at the time. So I was just like observing.
So how did you start? Like in your first year, did you have a mentor, or you just went at it on your own?
No, actually, in US, I was observing that realtors are number one in terms of income. True. So I went there. I also bought some books. So that's when I was observing, and actually at first I got my licenses here, renewed them, and then my registration with HLURB, now this SUD. So I had all my papers prepared. Then I established an office actually, because I believe that when you have an office, you have a personality. And I think in US, if you don't have an office, they don't regard you, they don't take you seriously. So that's one thing I established. So at that time, I was observing all the sellers and everything, and then I went to visit development. So the decision was, should I go Roland selling or project selling?
Yeah.
So, or private house and lot or project selling. So I was looking into a lot of things actually. So I observe, so I choose. I don't want to sell anything. I choose what I sell because it's kind of like an extension of myself as a seller. So that's why I concentrated. Then I noticed that sellers go to the malls. They give flyers.
Yeah.
And it's all again standing. Oh, a lot of
I
standing
only
there.
actually tried that like once or twice, but
Yeah, but
it doesn't
I
work
think
for me. Like
it doesn't work for me too.
flyering doesn't work for me.
Yes, because I was like analyzing. I always analyze things that in terms of time spent, if it's
Yeah.
worth your time spent, if your earning gonna be commensurate of the time spent. Because I always think, I'd rather sleep than spend my time there. No, it's ano ba sa akin, I'm not really I tried that for a short time.
I tried it a couple of times.
Oh yes, and I was like giving. I was like
Site manning at the mall. Giving
yeah,
out
site
flyers.
manning, mainit, etc. Diba? Tapos parang you give out the flyers and people you're giving to are not prepared actually to invest
They're not
or something.
interested, yeah, because they're there at the
sometimes
mall
maybe
to do something else.
some of my friends were able to get a sale from there, but not for me because
time spent versus sales incurred.
yes, and I also believe
work for
in selling. It should be informed decision.
Yeah, that's
So you really have to explain very well from A to Z so that the client would not, come back to you and
you give them the information early on, and then they will
That's
decide.
true.
So, what project did you choose to focus on during your first year?
Actually, I choose a project that was new. I just don't want to name it.
Okay.
No, I really like that project because it's first eco-friendly building, everything, and the design is good. As a technical person,
With your engineering background,
I really like it. All right.
Did you have any? What were your challenges selling that project? Because of course you were new in sales. Did you have any experience with sales prior to you becoming a full-time broker?
Actually, I ventured before into yung mga multi-level.
Yeah, I tried that too.
Yes, I tried that multi-level, and actually from engineering it's far fetched off from selling, right? And they were wondering, I really watch people how they do it, you know, and try to innovate from it, because in sales it's an art, right? So you can do it on your own, you can innovate, you can experiment, and then decide where you're gonna be, something like that. So for me, I decided that I'll go project selling because it's easier.
Yeah,
it
is.
And
Compared
then
to resales or private listings.
second, I cannot go into door to door, knock on your door, and then approach
Random strangers.
a total stranger and offering something.
So how did you do it? How
So,
did you sell
I analyzed.
Because you were the top seller with that project. You sold
Yes,
50 plus units. If I
almost
remember.
50.
Yeah.
And it's something like because I'm an analytical person, so I analyze things, I study. So I was getting their statistics, how much were their sales, and why was it not sellable. So what's the cost? Because condominium at the time is very new in Mindanao, and there's so much land, So why buy? And their
Why
concept
buy
is
a
that
condo if I can get a house and lot?
correct.
So that was the
And
concept
their
before.
thinking is that condo doesn't have a land, and so it's so expensive, you know. So I studied that all. Whatever is their thinking,
objections of the buyers.
I tried to study their perceptions and how to handle them, and what's the truth on it, so I could explain better.
Yeah.
So one thing, I also studied the statistics, and then I understand that rich people doesn't live in small spaces, but these are the people who can afford.
Yeah.
So you cannot just sell a condo to a teacher, for example, who's earning how much, unless they're earning so much, then so maybe a teacher would buy, but not an investment, but to live in it.
So who was your target market?
So my target market are businessmen.
How did you reach them?
So I have some few friends in Bukidnon, so I tried to make a presentation. It's an investment presentation actually. So I made it in such a way that they would see it, that it's best to invest here rather than keep their money in the bank. So I compared how much is the appreciation value, how much is gonna be the passive income compared to how much is the interest in the bank. So if they're keeping their money this length of time, how much would it be if they're gonna invest in real estate?
So you sold it, you presented it mainly as an investment.
Yeah, that's right. And that's where businessmen see the profit they're gonna have, which is much better than keeping their money in the bank.
Yes.
So that's why when I sell, I also told them how to buy multiple if they want to combine. A little detail for engineering aspect, and then they see the point and how much they're gonna save. So they ventured, so one buyer would buy 2 or 3 units. So that's where I have few buyers but multiple units.
Yeah, multiple units.
That's where I sold almost 50 units actually.
So 20% was able to get like a lot of, even though your buyers were only like a small number, you were able to sell a lot of units.
Yes.
That Pareto principle.
True. Kasi these people realize that what I'm pointing at is really true, right?
Yeah.
So they're, businessmen have much money, but they're very, very hold it tight on it until they see a very good investment.
Yeah.
So when they see a very good investment, they let go of their money.
Because it will grow.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
put it in
Because
that investment.
and I back it up with all the computations actually. So
really very technical.
it's a very technical thing, technical approach actually, but it's very successful because it turned out na totoo naman yung sinasabi ko. And my points were like I calculated things, then it turned out good for them, no? So now as I yung longer in real estate, I realized that we should be very, very careful in choosing what we offer. So those are the things that I learned. And because I always in selling kasi that I always service my clients yung after sales.
Yes.
Yeah, kasi we grow in yung relationship nyo as yung trust relationship is there.
Yes.
So bali, some of my clients would not even see on their unit. They will just, Christy, upgrade mo pagkatapos. Pagdating nila, okay na. Ganun lang. So, I'm happy when I
grabe
meet
na yung level of trust that
that's
you have
true.
with your
That's
clients.
why I felt also responsible if something is wrong doon sa investment nila. Kasi parang I've done something, I failed. I failed them in a way. So, I don't like it in such a way na hindi sila happy. So I really wanted all my clients to be happy in their purchases.
So what do buyers need to look out for when investing in a particular project or new development? Like what should they look out for?
And buyers sometimes it's a new idea for them. So that's why seller should be responsible in giving them ideas and suggestion where to invest.
Yeah, that's our job.
Yeah, that's our job dapat. Hindi lang na magka-commission tayo,
Yeah,
'di
of
ba?
course, of
Because commission always follow after a good sale.
Yes, I agree.
That's one thing I believe. So you don't have to count about you're not only looking on the client as a commission source of commission, but service first, then commission always follows.
Yeah.
So, yun ang ano ko, nakikita ko na yung mga kliyente ko would like to have a safe yung investment nila. So, number one, yung kind of developer, right? Because in
So
condo,
how can they check that?
no,
If
track
it's a
record.
good developer or not?
It's a track record. So, yung track record ng developer, tapos yung parang ano nila ba, reviews on in
Yeah.
terms of feedback of the
feedback
client,
from
yung workmanship,
existing clients, yeah.
yung delivery nila, then satisfaction ng mga clients. So it's very important that I learned because when I started, I only choose the project. Right? I choose the project. Then I realized that since it's a flagship project, so I would look into that they will make it good, right? I trusted that it will be good because some of my clients was asking, how sure are we with this kind of development? This is their first development or whatever it is. I always assure them na, this is their first project. And I think they have a lot of project coming up. So I'm sure they're gonna make good and everything. So whatever is in the brochure and their promise, they will make good on it. That's where I was wrong. So anyway,
So now you prefer developers that already have a track record.
true.
So that the investment of your clients are safer in a
That's
way.
correct. Some people doesn't, especially businessmen, they want to make sure of their investment. They don't look on how much is the price difference, but they always think that their investment is secured. So they go for big names like Ayala.
Yeah, Ayala.
SMDC
SMDC is putting up
coming
a condo.
up, right?
Yeah, uptown.
And now it's CLI,
Yeah,
right?
Sibulan Masters.
And for all those big names, actually, I'm proud to say CLI is the only developer, not to plug in,
Yeah.
It's not to
Free
plug
in.
in.
Hi, Chudes.
It's not, but it's only CLI that doesn't ask for the payment of the balance unless you accept the unit. You go into other
You mean
developer.
loan release?
No, to pay the balance. It's either they pay in cash or loan or financing. They don't ask for that.
Yeah,
The
I
equity is
noticed that.
paid, and
Yeah.
sometimes you paid already a year before, but since the project's not ready yet for turnover, you have a payment holiday, not with other developers. That I only experienced in CLI. Cebu Landmasters, and I'm really proud of it. And I always advertise that to my investors, that at least you have a very big leverage here, because if they don't turn over, at least what is stake here is only your equity, right? But if you have fully paid the project and then it's not yet delivered, parang you're at a loss. Actually.
So with other developers, they ask for, they already do loan release.
Actually, I don't want to name developers, right? Some developers process you the mortgage for the payment of the balance of the price, right?
So you mentioned that the first thing that you should look at is not only the project but also the developer, like who is building this project.
That's true.
Because
Because your investment depends on
the
how
develop-
stable is the
Yeah.
developer, how well they're gonna finish the project. Because what you're
Their
investing is a pre-selling
experience,
project, right? Because you're anticipating on the appreciation value. So as it nears the finishing stage, the value or the price is going higher. So that's where you're gonna earn as an investor. So if you don't have a very good developer, that affects your investment actually.
So what's the next thing that buyers should consider aside from both the project and the developer.
Then the thing is that how they turn over the project, right?
What do you mean? What is turnover for those who are not
For-
familiar with that term?
Yes, when for example, you bought a studio,
Yeah.
right? And you pay that for 4 years, zero interest equity because that's the construction period also for the developer to finish. So when the unit is ready, they will inform you to punch list. That's where you're gonna check your unit whether what they presented in their brochure as deliverable is really actually being delivered.
What you will be getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you want to check. So you want to check, for example, the flooring, if it's tiled, if it's evenly tiled or skewed or whatever. So you're gonna have the punch list. So you're gonna say check, no complaint, or this one is for rectification or something else. So the developer should
Then
dapat rectify. Then
If
that's
ever
the
you have
time.
complaints.
Yes, because you will pay them, right? That's before you pay them the full 80% or the balance. So that's where I said that it's very good for CLI because they don't ask the full balance unless you really accept the
yeah,
unit.
accept it.
So parang yung leverage mo as an investor is
Malaki,
nandun, malaki.
malaki.
Kasi you only paid 20%, right? So, mahirap if nabayaran mo na, tapos paano ka na magreklamo?
Yeah.
If ever you fully paid the unit
Maglisod
already.
na ka, o ano.
So, you'll run after, but of course, they'll say tomorrow, and all the tomorrows is there. So, but whether they're gonna rectify or not, that remains to be seen. So, here, yung leverage mo is very big if you haven't paid the full balance yet. So yun, ang nakaganda doon. So I really hope that they will maintain it.
Yeah.
No, because I really assured my investors na they're the only developer that does that.
They are? They're the
Yes.
only developer?
As far as I know, right?
Okay.
So, ang iba kasi may rent to own. 'Di ba? They may rent to own sila na scheme, pero yung hindi rent to own na scheme, sila lang. Kasi ang SMDC have rent to own schemes for their RFOs. So, mag-down
And then
ka lang na
One
certain...
Oasis has an early move-in promo.
That's
as
right,
well.
yes. Pero bayad ka pa rin, di ba?
Yeah.
Or else may LOG ka from the bank that the bank is ready to release. So, mag-apply ka muna, everything.
Yeah.
So, approval of the bank and everything. So, may assurance talaga. So, yun ang nakaganda. Yun ang titingnan ng mga investors actually. Kasi pag mahirap kasi if yung investment mo is hindi assured, 'di ba? Para bang baka mamaya mawala,
Yeah.
hindi matapos ang project. So ako as a broker, I always size up for my clients because when I tell my client, oh invest tayo, just like sa Terranza for example, sa Iloilo. Oh invest kayo dito.
So the clients that you're offering Terranza to, are they the same clients that you also, like parang your old clients na, parang expansion
Some
na lang
are
of
my
their
old
investment?
clients who dislodge other projects at a good price. Then they invest
Reinvest that.
yes, that's true. And some they bring in some friends. So they bring in some investors for me. Kasi I experienced kasi going abroad, offering some projects, but it turned out that even if they like the project but they don't know me, they don't know the developer, they don't buy. So they're always asking, meron ka bang Ayala? Meron ka bang SMDC? Yun mga big names lang tinatanong nila kasi parang thinking nila, these companies will not run away. Diba? Mahirap kasi if
They've
you're
been there
abroad.
for like 50 years already.
Yes.
So parang medyo sure ka.
But
sure ka.
one thing I learned if you're selling abroad is that you get somebody na who will endorse you and knows you very well, that they are close friend with that somebody, and I tell you they will buy.
Yeah, I
they
know
will trust
someone
you
who
because
does that.
their good friend trust you so
Like yung
much.
term is roadshow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
roadshow.
mahirap din ang roadshow kung wala kang endorsement.
Yeah, you have to have endorsement.
Sometimes, ma-hype ni mo yung mga buyers. They like the project, magre-reserve sila. But later on, it's because they have a lot of questions in their mind. Hindi sila, they will not push through with this buying. So, yun ang
Yeah.
problema. Kasi sabi ko, a good seller should be able to sell yung talagang turnover up to
Yeah.
di ba? Or they paid off their investment and it turned out they're happy, they reinvest or something. That's a good sale. As a broker, that is my measure of being a good seller, no? Kasi ang iba, they're happy with reservation. No, reservation is nothing. Incentive, malaki din ang incentive sa ibang developer. As in Taransa alone, I earned, modesty aside, I earned almost 500,000 in incentive.
Incentives lang. Because you reserved a
Incentive
lot
lang.
of units there, di ba?
Yeah. So, one thing I did is that I introduced a scheme. Like, for example, bili ka ng dalawang studio, combine mo. I showed them what I did here in Mesa Verde. And that's why I sold also almost 60 here in Mesa Verde. Because I designed something, then I present it to my investor and they like it. So that's why yung two magkatabi na studio from 5th floor, I think, up to 16th floor, yun, client ko yun. Ganon.
Okay.
So they buy by twos. And when I presented it to one investor also, and she liked it, no sweat, the money will grow. She bought like 6 units, 1 bedroom, only one
So that's all in
client.
Taranza.
No, it's
A
in
mix
Mesa
na, Mesa
Verde.
Verde.
Yung sa Terranza, dalawa-dalawa. So magkatabi. Magkatabi. So yung isa, naghahanap ng penthouse but it sold out. So she landed on the 28th floor. So it's like 1 bedroom and a studio. She combined it. So something like that. So, but when I told her that her investment in 1 week's time have grown like almost 2 million, she like, what?
Because nag-appreciate na.
Nag-appreciate in one, then she only, how much is the cash out? It's like reservation only of 30,000.
Reservation only.
So in short, oh my goodness, this is the right way of putting your money. And I'm happy when they realize that, because you know, you can see them as your prospective investors in other projects. Yeah.
So your advice, again, like as a recap, is first to check the developer and the
True.
project, and then second is how the developer turns over or like gives na the unit to the client.
Yes, the quality of work they're turning over, it's very important because everything is very nice in the
Yeah.
brochure, you know.
So dili lang na ma-finish ang project but to actually turn over a good project, a good
Yes, that's
finished
right.
project.
Because that our concern is that to make our client happy actually. So yes, the turnover is very important aspect because that's the culmination whether your client is gonna be satisfied on the project you offered or not. It's very vital that they will be like, you know, the satisfaction level is there.
High gid ang satisfaction
Yes.
level.
And that's one thing that is very good with some developers because
Yeah.
they can see how the project is, right? So that's why it's very important.
So I know that I noticed na before, di ba, super uso man ang nursing. I noticed now na nauso na po ang real estate. Like, more and more people are wanting to become real estate brokers or agents. So for the, especially for the new agents out there who are still starting out, or even to the medyo older agents na more years na in the business, what is your advice? Because you're really a top performer in this industry and I really admire you for that, like your tenacity in selling, how creative you are with your marketing and your service put to your clients. So what is your top three advice to beginning entrepreneurs and also real estate agents and brokers?
I think in the course of my practice here as a real estate broker or practitioner, the three things top is number one, you have the knowledge. Do not sell something that you do not understand.
Yeah.
You have to learn everything from A to Z about the project you're offering so you would be able to handle your client. Anything that they're gonna ask, then you would be able to answer them, right? Satisfy them because that's where they're gonna let go of their money. Number two is hard work. Nothing comes easy. So 99% perspiration, only 1% inspiration.
Yes.
And number three, you should be flexible. Flexible in the sense that when one thing doesn't go the right thing as expected, you would be able to innovate, you know. Resiliency is there. So you would be able to innovate, divert your energy into something that will more or less go on a better way of reaching your goal. Because some people is like they get discouraged, no? Kasi ilang client na, no. But remember, failure is a stepping stone to success. So sa ako, I always joke on that, but it's true. Kahit mag-explain ka sa client, tapos it says no, sabihin mo na lang, okay lang, mag-no siya, but at least I've overcame my fear, and I was able to handle, and then sabihin mo na lang na nag-practice ka rin.
Yeah, I'm reminded of this quote by Michael Jordan. Diba? Michael Jordan is like the greatest basketball player of all time. And he said that I fail 99% of the time, and that's why I succeed.
Correct. Because if for every failure you stop, then that's it.
Yeah.
But what matters is how you get up, and your yung conviction mo to really go for it, no? So every day is a new day. So why sulk on something na wala ka namang magawa? So if you failed, learn
Get
from
up
your
lang.
failure, then go forward. That's the important thing. And I think that paid off. Actually, I have a very good attitude in work kasi I'm a workaholic. So when I'm sad, I work. When I'm lonely, I work. I do that, and it is up everything. So I'm happy with kasi lahat naman is manageable. Everything, every day you have a problem, but how you handle things. Kaya nga, iba thinks that I'm down already because of all the, litigation from, but I tell you,
But you're doing fine. You're doing well.
I'm good actually, and I'm thanking them because it defined me better as a seller. Because with that, they think that I'm the only broker who fights for the client. So I'm happy for that. So I actually thank them for all the
They
things
made you
they've done.
stronger. They made you stronger.
True. I never thought that I would be able
I
to
think
withstand.
challenges in general, every time you're challenged, brings out the best in you.
True, and your attitude spells a lot,
Yeah.
because the way you see things is the way you act.
It's all about perspective.
Correct.
Like when challenges come, you can either choose to be broken or you can choose to break
Yes,
through.
I always look at on the positive side, right? So that's very important in our life. I learned this from my father actually, that in life it's always a problem. It's a matter of problem solving. That's why when I lecture in reviews and in other seminars, I always tell them, if you don't want a problem in your marriage, marry an engineer. Because they are trained to be problem solving supposedly. So
Actually, my
very
husband is like
technical.
that. He's not an engineer, but he's an IT graduate. So very technical pa rin.
Yes.
He's very good at troubleshooting. Like whenever there's a problem, like any kind of problem, he's very good at finding solutions.
That's true. Because as my father said, as long as you live, there's always a problem.
Yeah.
If you don't want
Hindi naman
problems,
mawawala.
doon ka na sa RIP. Rest in peace.
Oo.
Di ba? Doon, wala na talagang problema.
problem.
So as long as you live, there's always a problem. So how you solve the problem is a matter of choosing an alternative. Diba? A right alternative gives you a better solution to your problem. So that's how it is. Life is just like that. So I think I should thank my dad for that. That's the training he gave me. So kaya siguro I withstood
The
all
challenges.
this.
Yeah, the challenges in
And a
life.
lot of sellers was thinking, because I'm a topic of all the talks and everything, and so it's okay. But what matters is that how much is your sales.
Yeah.
You talk a lot, you don't sell.
Talking of sales, like how do you push yourself to, sell so much every day, every month? Like, do you have a quota for yourself monthly or annually?
Actually,
what's your process?
I don't put a quota for myself, but I always enjoy what I'm doing. So it's a matter of like satisfaction that I've sold so much in 1 week, in 3
Yeah.
months. That's something that is an achievement for me. I don't look at on other sellers as a competitor. I don't do that. Actually helping other sellers do better.
Yeah,
If
this
they ask
interview
me,
is helping other sellers
if
already.
they ask me, I'm not really greedy on sharing my experience and everything, because if you put in effort, you really have you can really sell. And my biggest competitor is myself.
Yeah,
So
I
I
agree.
challenge myself that if I can do this, then that's good. I feel good actually. So I have this kind of I carve a niche in the industry.
Yeah.
So something like I'm the only broker who sold, like, earned 5 million commission in 3 months,
So
something
what
like
is your
that.
average sales per month or per
I
year?
haven't calculated actually, because I'm not into how much
You
they
don't
earn.
monitor your
No, because
Not
my formula is like this. When I earn a commission, 10% is my personal expense, wherein I splurge it, I don't count it so I can go shopping, I can do anything
So
with
that's
that 10%.
pang shopping lang.
90% I do that, I spend that into my projects. That's how
So
I do
in
it.
the 10%, that's where you get na your daily expenses.
No,
bills.
it's just for my personal thing.
Pang shopping lang talaga, luxury.
If you want to buy things for your friends or something,
So where do you get your personal expenses? Like, do you have another allocation for that?
Now, my husband before is working, so he gives me a salary. So yun ang personal expense namin. Yung sa commission ko is for the project. Like for example, when I earned 5 million in my commission, I don't collect them. I invest them in units. So I was able to invest into studio and to parkings for that. So it takes a long time, because the pre-selling, you don't earn that much naman. Pero if I was going to collect that 5 million, it's like you're assured in 3 years 150,000 a month. And that's only from one developer.
Okay, so what's your take on the real estate market here in Cagayan de Oro, like compared to the more metro cities like Cebu, Davao, Metro Manila?
Actually, the concentration now is on secondary cities.
What are the secondary cities?
Secondary cities are like Cagayan de Oro, Iloilo, outside Metro Manila, because we are into...
Bacolod.
That's true. And then that's where it's gonna be. But the thing that pulls investors here in Cagayan de Oro, because this is a regional center, that's one thing we should think about. Just like Cebu, it's the melting pot. Just like Iloilo, it's a melting pot. So many provinces
Around the city.
converge in that to do
That's right.
business. That's where the real estate
It's the
is
hub of
gonna
Northern
yes.
Mindanao.
That's where our client gonna be. So that's where also you can also check on how much development in the city is coming up. So, mag-research ka, saan yun, sino yan,
Yeah.
o like what we're doing sa uptown, ano yung mga developments doon, how fast they're selling.
Yes.
So yun, as a seller, you have to know
all
this.
these things,
Yes,
yeah.
these are the data that you have to learn. Some people is just selling. So parang they stumbled on somebody who is interested only. No, if you want to have it as a
We need to
career,
be like an information machine.
yes, you have to gather information, then parang data gathering talaga, tapos digest them in a way that why would I buy here and not there? So you would be able to answer that. So those are the things that's actually very important as a seller. So Cagayan de Oro has a bright future actually, if you want to ask me. You can see SMBC is a big company and they don't invest in area wherein they cannot sell.
Yeah.
Right? So those are what they call this is a barometer for improvement and development actually. So when these people are coming in that area, something is in there that they believe that their project is gonna sell. So those are the things that we have to watch actually. So Cagayan is very good.
We have a bright future. So investors,
Yes.
now's your time to invest in Cagayan de Oro
Yes.
because it's still an up and coming city. It's still
Yes.
not as metro yet as the bigger cities, but it has a lot of room for growth.
That's true. And not only in Cagayan, you go, the next is like where? Iloilo is very good.
Mega World is a big project there.
That's true.
Super bongga.
And I heard Mega World is coming up also here. So
Yeah,
that's one
they
thing
are.
we have to watch.
So
actually.
exciting. So many developers na here in Cagayan.
Yeah, it's a brighter future for
Bright
us
future
sellers.
for us sellers. I love it.
So yeah, and one thing I love being a broker is that no pressure ba. You
Yeah,
can
like your
you
time is
can
your own.
you can make an appointment. You can see your client whenever. You can It's really flexible in your time. It's not like 8 to 5 job that you're gonna report, and it's not boring at all because you have different clients.
Yeah.
No.
Get to meet so many interesting people
Yes.
and learn from them as well.
True. So those are the things that really very, very attractive as a broker. That's why.
And you can actually earn as much as if you're working abroad.
Yeah.
Even more.
And that's the reason I
If
was
you're a top
not-
seller, even more, di ba?
So actually,
Pang
you can
abroad na ang
earn-
income. O, di ba ni Ma'am Christy?
Sobra pa daw, sabi ng
Sobra pa.
sister ko.
Yeah, sobra pa.
But actually, it's not really outright, but the reward is really good. It's
Yeah,
really good.
I agree it's not outright. You have to wait, especially if it's pre-selling. But
Yes.
it will come. So, you just
So,
have to be patient.
We have a bright future here in Cagayan. So, tara na!
Tara na,
Schooling na.
Invest in Cagayan de Oro.
That's true. Kaya nga ang iba, I regretted because when I was giving like seminars for yung before, 4 years ka lang baccalaureate degree, you can get the exam. But they didn't take that opportunity. Ngayon, 4 years course ka na. BSREM. So, study ka na talaga. Going to school, back to school. Then, earn your degree. Take the board exam. Mahirap na yun.
Yeah.
No, I earned that. I experienced that in nursing. 4 years in schooling.
I agree.
So,
4 years.
True.
Review pa.
So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Christy, for your time. I really learned a lot from you.
Ay, no,
You're really
it's-
one of my inspirations, and I see you also as my mentor in this industry as well.
No. Yeah, it's okay that you share. Actually, I really tell other people that you share, because the more you share, the more blessings you have.
That's correct.
So if you share
Abundance
your
mentality,
yes,
like
that's
there's
correct.
more than enough for everybody.
Yeah. Some people doesn't share because they're afraid that the person they share to will go
Becomes their
higher.
competition.
But
Okay,
no,
okay.
you should be secured on your ability
Yeah.
actually. So you don't have to be insecure.
Your
and
biggest competition
fearful.
is yourself anyway.
True.
So,
You compete with yourself, not with other people.
so thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank
What
you.
else do you want to tell our viewers here at Mindanao Daily News? So this is actually streamed on Mindanao Daily News every Tuesday, 11 to 12 noon. So I'll tag you once post na.
Yeah, yun lang. Cagayan de Oro is a very progressive area, and investment here is very, very good. And as a broker, a seller, you have a brighter future here. And with the pandemic now, we have what you call this e-commerce now, and our reservation is through online
I
na.
love it.
So parang
It took a pandemic.
borderless. They
It took
said
pa a pandemic para mag-online lahat
yes,
ang developers.
this is what they call a borderless selling, no? Na bahala ka na, nandun ka sa States, andito tayo, yung binibenta
It's so
natin
much more
Iloilo, Cebu, yung client ko sa Teranza, taga Qatar. So imagine
Yeah.
that. So I hope you do, and good luck to your program.
Yeah, thank you, Christy. So, okay, so everybody, thank you so much for being with us. Again, thank you, Ma'am Christy, for your time, and we will see you in the next episode of the Homeshow Unlimited. Bye!
Thank you.
Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily. Mindanao Daily.
Watch us anytime, anywhere. Pwede nimo makita sa digital. Ang papel, mga balita na masaligan para sa katawan, serbisyo publiko,